It's K420 back again with a video for all you parents out there. I guess this one, she's actually been around for about 10 years, so I wouldn't even say parents anymore. I mean, in all honesty, she's been on YouTube longer than I have. Pardon me for a moment. But a cough drop in my mouth. Since everyone always seems to notice when I'm sick, instead of just saying, damn, Kate, you must be a chain smoker. Look at that cloud of haze behind you. Okay, so Leah Marie Johnson, groomed by her music producer, Stephen Wetherbee. Oh, my big head's in the way. Well, guys, let's get this show started with a big cough so everybody can comment on it. Sorry, I'm just messing. You know me, I have Crohn's. So if for those of you who have commented about my health, and thank you for wishing me to be better, but this is just life in the wintertime for someone with an autoimmune disorder. And I'm the queen of Lysol and hand sanitizer, if that tells you it doesn't make a difference. So let's get on to this Leah Marie thing because this is pretty new. It's been a couple days. I kind of wanted to see if Wetherbee did anything different with his channel or with his pages. We'll get to that. But before we do, you must know that YouTube is always finding one reason or another not to monetize my channel. And with the new YouTube qualifications, they're basically going to, if your channel's not deemed advertiser friendly, they're going to try to wipe us out. So if at some point in time, everybody needs to come over and see my BitChute channel. It's bitchute.com/channel/Kate420 and then subscribe there because all my videos that I put on this channel also get backed up on BitChute. Oops. I knew I should have never let you in here. Yeah, all right, dog's out. Anyway, let's get on to Leah Marie. This is Leah Marie Johnson's Instagram, 1.4 million followers. I would say nowadays at 23, she's somewhat more of an influencer / musician. But at one point in time, she was more of just a YouTube star on the show Kids React. So I want you to take a look at some of these pictures. I mean, as a former addict myself, who just celebrated, 13 years because I made a comment a few months ago where my brother had to make sure he let me know exactly how many years I had clean because, he's actually had anything to do with me in those 13 years. So he would know that. Anyhow, 13 years sober. On November 29th, I celebrated. So I know that look. And that look right there, and right there, and right there, and look at them pinned up pupils. That's a withdrawal look. Anyway, this guy, which we're going to get to him in a minute, this girl is on opiates, whether she's choosing to be on opiates or someone is using opiates to control her, or she's just at a point in her life where she experimented and now doesn't realize. Look at her eye. She takes a close-up picture of the pinpoint of her eye. All right, that's nothing. Now, over the last year, Leah Marie Johnson has had some questionable Instagram videos, live streams that have been taken down. But some fans have obviously screen recorded them. We're going to get to that in a minute. But in May was one of the last ones where the police were called because she was under the influence and crying hysterically during her live stream. Really not making any sense. And so yeah, the police were called to do a well-being check. This girl has every time she goes on Instagram live, there's 1.4 million people that are likely to see her content while she's under the influence of whatever it is and expressing her opinion on live, and some of it didn't make a damn bit of sense, and I don't understand how it didn't destroy her career back in May. But what it did do is bring attention to her and her issues. So every time she did an Instagram video after that, people were ready to screen record and do a downhill goes Leah video, So I didn't want to just jump on this without really going through everything, because in this day and age, I mean, it was very believable immediately when I heard the story. But anyway, quickly, YouTube, here she is on YouTube, more of a 1.8 million subscribers. She's turned into a lot more of a music. If you check it out, she's got a lot more of her recently I'd say in the last 4 or 5 years has just been all YouTube, which is why, or excuse me, has been all music, which is where Stephen Wetherbee comes in. We'll get to him in a moment. But let's all right. Come on. All right. So this is a thread hat tip, as I like to say when I borrow someone else's stuff or give the person who did all the the work the credit. Hat tip, guys, go subscribe to IG celeb with 2 B's .t. You see it, so at celeb t memes, guys, on Twitter. All right, because really whoever runs this celeb t site did all the work, and no, I have not followed them, and that is only because my Twitter account has been suspended, and so I'm working off of so if I tried to press follow right now, it would say cannot do, your account has been suspended. Yeah, I dared named the whistleblower, and when I named the whistleblower on my Twitter thread, they shut my Twitter page down immediately and have not given it back to me since. Anywho, here she is looking younger and much healthier. As you can tell, there's an entirely different, she doesn't have that zombified staring out in space look. Her face isn't gray. It's got color, flushness to it. Anyway, it says Leah Marie Johnson went live on Instagram earlier today while she was in the studio with her producer, and it was shown that they were making out and she was possibly being groped while she was intoxicated and possibly high. I have made posts about her alleged drug use before. Now, there's no 911 moment here because Leah Marie Johnson is 23 years old. So, I mean, she's well past the age of consent. The problem is that this is the man that she ends up being seen with in this video, which is strange because you already know, like, the way she sets up the video almost seems like she's doing it in a way to expose, like, finally, here, guys, you want to know what's going on with me? Here, this is what's going on. And she sets up the video to record her making out with him, and she even pulls him into the scene just enough to where he realizes her phone is recording on IG Live or whatever, and he freaks out. And he should freak out because not only does he own Golden Track Records, but he also works with a lot of children's talent agencies, and he's been working with Leah since she was 14. So he actually was the one that took her Tiger Beat picture that made him, that made her so big. Everybody knows about her little Tiger Beat picture. So anyway, this is part of the Instagram live from the other night. I got the volume up. I mean, really, they're just making out for a few minutes. That's all this is. And then I'm going to go down, like, you can't see who it is. Like, she keeps him over in the corner, keeps looking back at her phone. I mean, this whole one is just them making out. And then if you come down to the next one, oops, hang on. Sorry. Shoot, I got to stop this one first.
Okay, what? Okay.
He said something to her, and she said, okay, what? Okay. Anyway, hold on a second. There we go. This is the one I want you to see. Come on.
Do not send the fucking police for my fucking address. Okay, what? Okay. You know what? Fuck all of you. Do not send the fucking police for my fucking address. No. These people are so right here are the ones that are most fucked up.
I need this not to go out because it's my work. Please.
If you didn't hear, hang on a second.
Okay.
1 second. If you didn't hear, I'm going to play that last part again. Weatherbee's in the background making sure he says, Leah, this can't go out. It'll affect my work. Excuse me. By work, he means his photo site, his Wetherbee photos. He takes photos of children, headshots. That's where he makes his money. He's also a producer, as I said. He's supposed to be producing music for Aaliyah, but apparently she's got other things that she has to do for him in order for him to make her famous. Apparently, the casting couch has got its filthy, nasty hands on Leah Marie Johnson. So Stephen Wetherbee started working with Leah. Now you can go back and check. There's a huge long thread, guys. I was going to spend some time on it, but 10 minutes into the video already, I've got a lot more I can show you. And I feel like that's celebrity memes did all that hard work and research. And I know if I put that thread together and someone did a video solely on my thread, that I would kind of be offended whether they give me credit or not. So I want to show you some of the, some work that I did on my own. Wetherbee started working with Leah when she was underage. That we can prove right here. Okay, so this is January 2nd. Someone figured this part out, I'm sure. Leah Marie Johnson stuff is truly haunting. As earlier reported, she was recorded and uploaded an Instagram live showing her making out with a much older man identified as photographer and music producer Stephen Wetherbee. The age difference initially raised eyebrows, but Leah's slurred speech and erratic behavior raised concerns. Many of the 23-year-old fans have been worried about the former tween star since she's posted several Instagram live videos this year showing her clearly intoxicated, and many don't think she's just on alcohol or smoking weed. Stephen Wetherbee has erased his entire social media presence since the news of the Instagram live went viral, but some had captured screen recordings of his pages prior. Additionally, the web had a handful of videos showing the photographer and music producer, and it appears he solely works with young stars, most of whom were under 18. Even more suspicious is that his relationship with Leah, well, at least it goes back to 2012 when she was still an underage teenager. In August of 2012, The Stars Will Shine, which includes Leah and other tween stars, is credited on YouTube as being written by Stephen at Gold Track Studios. Leah was 15 at the time, and 2 years later, when she was 17, he posted on Instagram that a photo he took of her was featured, boom, I told you, in Tiger Beat magazine. It's unclear how long before he held the photo shoot with her. There's the Stars Will Shine video right there. We're not going to watch that. Here's Wetherbee posting. That's on his page. See? Share a laugh with Leah Marie Johnson. It says from her Nickelodeon sketch to her personal videos. Leah's channel reflects her adorable, bubbly personality. Yeah, that's pedophile right there. Adorable. But let me make you look like, as much of a mini woman as I can. And it says, Leah teaches you how to make it on the internet, put a video out every week, even if no one's watching. And it just goes on. This is the Tiger Beat one from June, what, guys? 6th of 2014, meaning, again, minor. All right. According to Gold Track's official site, Steve is the founder of the studio and has over 30 years of experience in music recording. He works primarily with young stars and resurfaced in the interview from 2012 where he says his favorite thing about photography is meeting the kids and their parents. We always take an ice cream break, and I like doing the ice cream. In it, he talks about working with Avalon Robbins and Casey Logan and other kids. All of the ones he mentions are girls, mostly underage ones too. It's important to note that there's no evidence Stephen Wetherbee and Leah Marie Johnson's romantic relationship began when she was a kid. But the fact that we know that he worked with her when she was 15 years old is something that raises concerns over grooming and shows lack of professionalism when it comes to his career. And a lot of them to speak of. So let's go on real quick. Pardon me. There's a couple more things I want to show you, and then I'm going to have a part 2 coming up of the most powerful people, and how it's a combined list of people who've all been accused of, inappropriately messing with minors, and they're all celebrities and music stars. But I think I'm going to do that as a part 2 because I don't want to make this one too much longer. All right, and that's my dog's barking, of course. Anytime I want to record. Fans of YouTube's Kid Reacts star Leah Marie Johnson are worried after A disturbing Instagram live, right? We started talking about that. There was a reason I wanted to show you this one specifically here. Fans think the older man's disturbing January 2nd live stream is Wetherbee. The man appears to start kissing her before he realizes she's filming their encounter, at which point he tells her, turn off the stream because it will affect my work. Weatherby has professional ties to Johnston dating back to 2012 when she was as young as 15. And he took in a photo he took of her when she was 17. Oh, shoot. There. Let's see. Gaining traction. And so, yeah, he did. I'm going to show you that in a minute. It's another one that says they believe she's under the influence of drugs and not just alcohol. I'm telling you guys, it reminds me of opiates, and that's the biggest thing. I feel like she might even be being controlled with it, because when you don't know where or how to get your own drugs and all you have is the money and this man's providing them for you, and you go through your first, second, third, fourth, 10th withdrawal, excuse me, you become dependent on that man, and you will start doing the things that you're told to do in order to, in the end, receive your drug. Obviously, I mean, it happens every day. I just did it again. All right. So we're going to go on. This is his Facebook, just to show you guys that as of today, the 5th, his Facebook and Instagram and he still has all of his business sites down. I mean, within 5 minutes. I have to give credit to people like Celeb T who did get the screenshot and the screen recording within the first 5 minutes of it all going down. You got to be an up all nighter to catch that. I caught the story going on, but I didn't catch. Every time I'd get to one of his pages, it was already down. So thank gosh for people that have been following this for months, that knew something was wrong because they're fans of hers. Thank God for the people who did videos and wrote articles about it so that there was some kind of reference that we could have. Well, maybe I guess I got enough time really quick. I just want to show you really quick. Like, sometimes unless you hear some names sprinkled out loud yourself, you don't realize. I didn't know this is obviously a little bit older because it takes a little while to compile them. But this is a list of every musician and music executive facing abuse allegations in 2018. Now, this was 2 years ago, obviously, but we have Russell Simmons, 15 women. Charlie Walk suggested comments to young female staffers, dry humping employees, grabbing vaginas, sending pictures of his penis, sorry, he only has one, lurking on female staffers' social media accounts, tackling women on top of couches and laying on top of them, career advancements in exchange for sex. This year alone, Charlie Walk has faced a slew of allegations, with accusations spanning over 2 decades, with affected female staffers were in their 20s. It says, following an internal investigation, Universal Music Group labeled Republic Records dismissed Charlie Walk. The label made the decision based on the findings, so he got dismissed. But no one has dared to step forward. No one has dared to step forward and sue him. It says Patty Glacier, Harvey Weinstein's attorney, he has him retained to defend the embattled music executive. I gotta go over here. It's pissing me off. There. I did it again. I don't care. Anyway. I must have new settings and I didn't realize it. Andy Lack. Andy Lack is the current chairman at NBC. L.A. Reid. We all know L.A. Reid from Epic Records. Let's keep going real quick. William Prusil, the Cleveland Orchestra suspended violinist William Prusil. It's 23-year concertmaster until further notice. The band, death metal band from Poland, decapitated severe sexual assault accusations. Oral Paul Drayson, drummer of Sigur Rós, an Icelandic avant rock band. Okay, Jeremy Geffen battled serious sexual charges over a decade ago. Who's that? Jeremy Geffen. I forget where he's from. DMN, that Geffen's management. I don't know where he's from. Guy, the name sounds familiar, but I can't think of where part of the music. Anyway, Noel Detail Fisher, according to TMZ, two women, Christina Bush and Peyton Ackley, filed restraining orders against Noel Detail Fisher. They allege that the producer raped and physically assaulted them, forced them to perform sexual act on others or in front of others. Jesse Reyes, an island artist, backed up their stories on Instagram. Says one night over 6 years ago, Detail Fisher tried this on me. I was lucky and I got out before it got to this. I don't know what to say or who to tell. I was scared. Fear is a real thing. The girls that came out here are brave as hell. That worked out good in her favor though. A lot of times people won't back you up, especially all them years later. They don't want nothing to do with it. Adam 22. Adam Grand Mason, Warner Music's Atlantic Records has canceled a venture deal with No Jumper Records. The move came after two incidents of alleged rape came into light against Adam 22. We all know Adam 22. He's on the tube. He's on these YouTube streets. No hate, but he is. He's still making money all day. Oh, I'm so sick of that. Anyway, Katy Perry, 19-year-old Benjamin Glaze, and she forcibly kissed him. American Idol. Ryan Seacrest, $15 million suit with, I believe it was his wardrobe stylist. There you go. Susie Hardy. Heather Perry, executive at Live Nation. XXX. Yeah, we all know about what he went through with charges. I'm just saying this was back in 2018, guys. There's so many more now. Tekashi 6ix9ine, Asia Argento, John Amato, Julian Hogine, Charlemagne the God. I mean, this is not something new. And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to get across. This whole Me Too thing kind of screwed up the whole. If they would have stopped virtue fucking signaling, part of my speech, and actually just expose the abusers and who, and come forward as a victim. If you're not a victim, don't point fingers. Let that person come out on their own, and let these people go down on their own. But what happened is people decided they were going to back other people up, but then they were going to throw other people under the bus at the same time. Asia Argento is going to, go after Harvey Weinstein for rape at the same time, knowing in the back of her mind that she, had sex with a boy who she was in a movie with, who was like 7 years old when she did the movie, and she had sex with him when he was 16 and she was 30. So, she's been paying him off, and that has a lot to do with why I think her boyfriend, the cook there, is dead. But anyway, the YouTube movement, Me Too movement, not YouTube, the Me Too movement that came out with a bang has fizzled with a splash. And the sad part is that the victims of all of these powerful men and women will continue to be silenced until the next opportunity comes along for them to be exposed. And people that saw this whole situation with Leah may have just exposed another Me Too.